Alright, so we're finally gonna do my in-depth setup tour here. All the equipment I use, what I use to stream with, what I use for cameras or freelance work. Overall, just the look of my room. A couple months ago, I did a spring cleaning stream setup where my desk was on this side of the wall, now it's on that side. A little bit more organized, and the cable management is still kind of a mess, but it's easier to pull out cables compared to like the mess that we saw on the old setup. You guys ready for this? God damn. So keep in mind about cable management, I'm not the best at it. The reason why I have the cables out is because like I'm unplugging and replugging stuff in. So pretty much I'm not hiding like any of the cables aside from like besides the cables that connect to the monitors here. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what I use to stream and record with, as well as the camera stuff and whatever programs I use. So pretty much this is what you see in my room, or at least where I walk into. I normally have the green screen set up like behind my chair on the floor here. So I have this green screen stand here, and it usually covers up this part. I also have been experimenting with this green shirt on my chair. So really what the camera picks up is just me, and these two get keyed out on OBS. And the green screen frame is just made out of PVC that you can get from like Home Depot, held with these type of clamps. I also want to start off with the lights here. You can also make these from Home Depot. These are just parchment paper, which is like baking sheets held by like these small clamps. As you can see there, this is like a heating lamp. There's a daylight bulb in here that's a dimmable. This is currently clamped on to like an old tripod I had. How the lights are being controlled, this is a dimmer switch. So as you can see here, once I put on the switch here, you can make it brighter, or you can make it dimmer. And I currently have two of them. Recently, I got me some black curtains because this window is pretty bright. The black curtains actually help out a lot of blocking out the light outside, so it doesn't really mess up the keying with this green screen here. And this is what I look at. I look at 3 different monitors. This monitor usually has like my chat or events. So this is Streamlabs, this is for Twitch, and this is for YouTube. I know Streamlabs has the functionality to have both YouTube and Twitch on the same page. Something got messed up before, it messed up all my notifications, and so I just reverted back to keeping them separate. This blank chat box right here is Restream's chat. This is what I normally look at, and it shows both YouTube and Twitch. I have these 2 windows up just in case if like I need a monitor or something, because you can't really do it on this one. So what's cool about Restream service is that you can actually type something. So if I put like butt, it will go there, it will show up as broadcaster. And then if I look in the other chat, it shows up on Twitch and it shows up on YouTube. Right here is my game monitor. So this is where my Xbox, my PlayStation, my PC, basically any console goes into this monitor. And then on this monitor is where I keep all my programs usually. This is OBS. This is what pretty much everyone uses, or they use XSplit or a different type of live broadcasting program. As you can see here, this is all of my scenes, all of my sources, and then this is like kind of like my microphone setup. I mainly use the first mic input and desktop. As you can see, a majority of them are muted, and I usually dabble around 60 or 30 frames per second. I'll put a link in the description of like the settings I use to stream and record, but basically I use the H.264 at 1080p, bitrate at 4500, streaming at track 1, and for recording I do 1080p as well, track 1, and a encoder is X264, which is your CPU. The other one is, I believe, your GPU or your graphics card. This one's set at 3000 bit rate, ultra fast, so that way it doesn't like take up a lot of CPU power. May not be the best quality, but it works. And as far as audio bit rate, I usually set it to like 192. And I guess if you want the sample rate on my audio, it's usually 48. And I set my channels to mono. So as you can see there, my webcam is plugged in, it's right there, and I'm right here on the little screen. So normally I will have this camera right here. This is the Canon G40 set up on that tripod, plugged into another capture card I have, so that way I can use this camera's 60 frames per second for the stream. Kind of overkill, but it works. This is the little preview window I look at whenever I'm streaming, so that way I can see if the stream is actually working fine. Since this is outputted from my computer directly, this is what I'm seeing on the internet. This is voice meter. This is what I use to modify my voice. By modifying, I mean like, you know, boost up my microphone signal. And also this program helps a lot, like say my microphone signal died, I don't have to restart OBS here and just restart right here and everything works fine. This program helps a lot to take out any noise or boost up my microphone signal again. I usually have this volume mixer up because weird audio system that I have everything plugged into my computer's onboard microphones. It's not the best thing in the world, but it actually works out pretty well for me. So right here, this back that you're seeing right here, that's where all my game audio is coming from. Also, if you haven't noticed, these two monitors are the same. This one's different. So these two monitors are Acer monitors. They're both IPS monitors, so they're really good at color. Works pretty well in gaming. And this is a Dell monitor. This is an old monitor that I used. Works pretty well. It's a widescreen monitor, so I might as well just keep it. So yeah, those are my 3 monitors and how I set up my stream here. These are my little figures. This is the little Kate figure I got with Destiny 2. This is a 3D printed Squirtle that John Smith from Funhouse, one of the editors, actually gave me. This is an old Polyworld that I got when I was a kid. My inhaler and duct tape, as well as with chapsticks. And then I got some chopsticks from my sister when she went to Japan. American flag sunglasses, Van sticker. This was a Christmas gift from my little sister. I thought it was pretty funny. She put this picture inside the box that's behind it. Another dimmer switch for this light. This is something that I made from, I think from my older sister's baby shower. It's a Twitch logo. I painted it. Came out pretty sweet. A tripod plate, some pouches, and a lens hood for this camera. Pen, Sharpie, pencil, and a highlighter, as well as sticky notes. This right here is just a lens hood cover. Plastic cases for rechargeable batteries, 32 gigabyte memory flash drive, some tie wraps for cables. And these two here are my vlogging cameras. So this is the Sony HX80. What's pretty cool about this camera is that like most cameras I guess nowadays, is that it has a flip out screen. Not really new, but it does help for vlogging. This shoots at 1080, 60 frames per second. The only problem that I have with this camera is that low lighting is not great for this camera. This is a 3.5 aperture as opposed to this camera. This is a 1.8 aperture. You can look up online of what aperture means. It's all camera stuff. This is my second vlogging camera. My first vlogging camera would be my phone. This is an iPhone 6S. This camera right here is a Sony Action Cam AS20. I got the caddy for it so that way I can look at myself while vlogging. This camera is actually pretty great. It has that wide fisheye lens. Since it is an action camera, this is pretty much like a GoPro. This is the actual size of the camera, as you can see here. I took out the bottom plate because I need to get this camera out just to fix the lens. This is what the back part is, and there's no battery inside. So yeah, when people ask me like what type of camera I've been using to vlog, it's usually these 3 different devices. So I have this one that goes fisheye. I have this one for vlogging usually. This is a good zoom vlogging camera. And then I use my phone like just in case I don't have any of my cameras. And then I usually carry around this fisheye lens and then just put it on my phone. So that's what I use for vlogging. And this is my most recent camera. This is the Sony A7R II. Really good camera when taking photos. It shoots in 4K video at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 60 frames per second. You can also do slow motion at 720p, I believe at 124 frames. Really nice, great camera. The only thing I don't like about this camera is the LCD screen, how it doesn't flip out. But as far as like just vlogging, I would have to buy like an external monitor. I don't really use this camera as much for videos in terms of vlogging, but for cinematography, photography, it is amazing. I also lost the eyepiece to this, but I don't think it's really important. I'm currently using the 28x70 kit lens that this camera comes with. Not the best lens, but it does a good job. Do I recommend this camera? Yes, if you want to use it for professional use, like if you're doing a lot of cinematography work or photography. But no, if you're just an average consumer and you just want a camera that point and shoots, takes a video, or do vlogs, there's cheaper alternatives out there. This right here is my LED light. This is actually the first LED light I owned, or maybe the only one, but this is pretty cool. It has a dimmer on it, and I'm using the rechargeable batteries on here, and it has a hot shoe mount, so you can mount this to any camera, as well as tripods. Now we get to the desktop. So this right here is not a mouse pad. This is actually a laptop case that I had, and I just cut it. This is a wireless gaming mouse. I believe this is the Logitech G602. I'm usually not a fan of wireless mice, but this actually works out pretty well for editing. I don't usually use this mouse for gaming, even though this is a gaming mouse. What's cool about this mouse is that you can set all these buttons to do something. I usually use these keys for like shortcuts like splitting a clip or making something to slow motion. Basically it's just shortcut keys in Premiere. This is the first gaming mouse I use. I don't know what's it called. Batterwing CW10. It's a pretty cheap mouse. I actually got this mouse for about $10 on eBay. It's pretty good because you get to switch in between, like, I guess, mouse speeds. I got some more clamps there. This is the water bottle I use when I'm streaming. There you go. There's the brand in case you want one. This shelf right here I made from using IKEA parts. It's actually pretty tall, but it's pretty good for me, for at least when I'm sitting down, as opposed to the monitor being on top of the desk. It actually gives me a lot more room too. I don't know what the model is called and I forgot what the legs are called, but you can always search it up or look around IKEA. Inside there are my 2 speakers I have. I don't think they make these speakers anymore, but the reason why I keep them around is that they have this headphone jack that I could just plug my headphones in, and then so I could just make a volume adjustments, or if I want to unplug them and I want to use the speakers. They're called Altec Lansing. And then right here I have 2 keyboards. As you notice, they aren't gaming keyboards. This keyboard up in front is probably like the oldest keyboard I have. This keyboard right here is just a regular Dell keyboard. I forgot what it's called. I don't even know. I don't think they sell this keyboard anymore, but it has good spacing between the keys. It doesn't make like a lot of noise. This isn't even a gaming keyboard, just keep that in mind. And I've had this since my first computer. It's still pretty dusty. I haven't really dusted anything. And right here, this back keyboard, it's not a gaming keyboard, but this is like a secondary keyboard that I use for my laptop whenever I'm streaming like any PC games. And it's the same thing with the mouse. This mouse and this keyboard are used for like the PC games, and then this keyboard and this mouse is usually for like the main desktop computer. So actually, just let me show you guys. So this keyboard, this mouse connects all the way to this laptop here. This is the Asus ROG. I forgot what it's called. Basically, this laptop is 17 inches and it has a GTX 1060 card in it, i7. Pretty damn good laptop. This is the laptop I use for on the go, usually when I edit videos. I really love this laptop. The only thing I don't like about this laptop is the battery life. All right, back at the desk here. As you can see, the wires are just flowing out, especially here. But I'll get to a moment of why the wires are like this. Right here is all my batteries for the cameras that I have. So these 2 big batteries are for this camera. This small battery is for my Sony A7r camera. And then back over there, I have a bunch of hard drives. These are 2 terabyte hard drives. I need to get more hard drives actually. Sorry for the weird exposure there. And this right here is my new audio interface. I used to use this Scarlett Solo, but it doesn't work for me. This is the Alesis Multi-Mix USB FX. The reason why this has an effects function is because you get to add a lot of reverb to your voice, so that echoey effect that I've done on the stream. So I usually use an XLR microphone, which is the one right there. And the second microphone put here is usually like my friend's microphone. So if they're on Discord, Xbox, or PlayStation, I usually mix it within my mixer here. This is my microphone. This is the Audio Technica AT2020, the windshield pop filter that you can get fairly cheap. I got this for about $2 on eBay and it took like 3 weeks. This is a very cheap microphone stand. I don't recommend this. I don't recommend getting a cheap microphone stand because it's not reliable. It's in fact broken. So I definitely need to upgrade to a better one soon. These are my Sennheiser headphones. The reason why I like these headphones is because how they sound. They are very soft. I might replace these ear pads at some point because they are getting kind of dusty. I believe these are the Sennheiser, there you go, Sennheiser HD 55.8. They have more updated models of this headphones, but I recommend them. They're really great headphones. These headphones get plugged into the speaker over there. And now wires, oh boy, and this is actually not a great thing to present, but basically this big coiled up cable is the XLR cable, so that's pretty much just organized itself. This HDMI is from the computer, and this HDMI is from the switcher or the game consoles. This is a Bluetooth wireless receiver and transmitter. Some more cable transfers. That is my 4 terabyte external hard drive. As you can see, it's full as of September. This is a USB 3.0 card reader, really handy, and then USBs are plugged in. So this right here is my capture card. It's currently covered in this tape because there's actually a bright blue light. This for a while did not work, but now recently it's been working fine. In reality, I don't use this gray one because it doesn't output anywhere, but the input is what I use. And then back here is the computer, has a bunch of cables that can't really hide. So right here, this is pretty much the charging station Got my iPhone, got Xbox, PlayStation, batteries. This is basically all charging station. And then going back to the HDMI switcher, I actually have this switcher, which doesn't require any AC adapter. I have another one. For the consoles, and then I have an HDMI splitter that goes to like 2 different feeds of. And this right here is my computer. We built this computer 2 years ago. i7 computer with 16 gigs of RAM, GTX 970 card, and I also installed an internal HDMI capture card. Dude, shout out to Kinda Funny. And right here is just another power switch. This is usually connected to my monitors. So if I were to switch off one of them, my monitor is down. And then you switch it back on and it turns back on. So it's really handy. Now we get to the good part, the cables. These are all of my cables that plugged into either my computer, my lights, and my consoles. Not the prettiest thing to look at, but it's there. And if I need to unplug anything, it's right there. There's no cable like hiding behind anywhere besides my internet, which is down there. Here's my Asus laptop on top of a cabinet that has like all of my old games. This is an old LG TV that I don't really use as much. I only use this if my friends are coming over and we want to do like some sort of Mario Kart game. This is the Starry Night Joker that my little sister painted. It looks awesome. These are just soundproof panels. They're actually, I don't know if they're useful. I only got 2 of them because I randomly found these in my dad's garage. It does help, so that way like the echo of my voice doesn't bounce back from the walls, which is why you see a lot of these like type of foam things on the walls in other people's setups. This right here is an old cabinet where all my consoles are in. The Wii U, the Xbox 360, which I don't use anymore. PS3, I don't use as much. I only have Kingdom Hearts playing on there or other PlayStation games. I usually keep those 2 consoles just in case if like a game that isn't available for both. My PS4 and my HDMI switcher on top. That switcher goes all the way to this switcher, and then that switcher goes all the way to a splitter, and then the splitter goes to the capture card or the monitor. So I do have some games that are displayed out here. And then Xbox One with my external hard drive. And as you can see, I took out the back panel so that way all my consoles can breathe. So there's my HDMI switcher again. Sorry if it's not staying in focus. And this is the remote that I use to switch different outputs. Right here is the first DSLR camera I used. This is my dad's. It is the Rebel T1i. When I bought the new Sony A7R II camera, I gave my Canon T3i to my little sister. Some more stuff here like the waterproof casing with the Sony Action Camera, charging battery, games. This right here is just for decoration, something to have in the background. Boxes for my cameras. Old Xbox 360, old DirecTV box, PlayStation 2, another camera that I may or may not be selling. That's the internal capture card I use that's currently in my computer. Old vlogging camera when I started out, I think at like 2009. I don't use that. This was the second camera I've ever owned. This is the Panasonic, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a mini DV tape. I use this camera a lot for skateboarding and vlogging. And then some more stuff here, more DVDs or games. Pop figures, Febreze. And this right here is like accessories, equipments that I use for my freelance work with cinematography or photography. I have 3 mic stands. 2 of the mic stands are used for the lights, those lights over there, which is why I don't have them like hidden and I could just unplug the lights from there, take them out, put them on the light stands here. Also I have extra microphones, so whenever my friends want to record a video when they come over, I have these ready to go. My big tripod, my travel tripod, my other travel tripod, my everyday tripod, which is the Gorilla tripod. This is a fisheye lens I use for my Sony camera. This is the telephoto lens. You can actually use Canon lenses with my A7 camera with an adapter. A handle I use for skateboarding or just stabilizing. Camera bag that I got from Amazon. A camera flash for photography. My smaller compact size camera bag here. SD cards are in here. My Canon 50mm 1.8 camera lens with the adapter from, I believe this is Photo Deox Pro. I recommend getting the Meta Bones one if you're using Sony camera and you want to use your Canon lenses because of the autofocus features. This works pretty well, but if you're in a tight budget, I recommend this. But if you have the extra cash and you want to go all out with using all of Sony's functionalities and using Canon lenses, Meta Bones speed boosters are usually the way to go. This is my Canon 24-70 at f-stop of 4. And this bag right here is all of my ND filters. So basically this diffuses any like harsh light and get some really good photos with that. And that is the fly camera I use. I usually put my DSLR camera up there so that way I can get stable footage instead of using like hand can like this. And these are the programs I use. I usually use the Adobe Creative Cloud, which has Premiere, Photoshop, After Effects. I also use Illustrator and Lightroom. I also have a copy of Sony Vegas as a backup editor. I use Audacity to record my audio. So yeah, this is the tour of my setup. It's nothing extravagant compared to like most streamers or setup videos that at least I've seen. A lot of them have like a bunch of like RGB lighting, LED lighting. Me, I like to keep things basic. I like having like a dark corner. Usually having a bunch of lights is kind of distracting for me. And so yeah, this is what I use every single day for editing, for streaming, for any type of work that I need to do. You saw how my game consoles is set up. You guys saw how my audio is set up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this setup video, and who knows, maybe in the future I might change up this area again. So that's what I have for this week's Sunday vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any more questions about my setup here or type of equipment that I recommend that you guys want to check out, such as cameras or whatever pertaining to similarity setup I have here, comment below if you guys have any more questions in regards to my setup here. This setup video was promised at 2,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. We're close to 3,000, so hopefully we can reach that by the end of this year. If not, we're still gonna keep on working on it throughout who knows how long I'll be on YouTube. And so that's pretty much all I have for this week's Sunday vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for helping me reach milestones for this channel, and hopefully we can keep on going with YouTube, Twitch, or any other platform for me to keep on continuing on my little hobby / career that I have here. As usual, take care, and I'll see you guys next week.